Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming today. And special thanks because of how hard these 6 graduates have worked and have earned their diplomas. Congratulations to each of you. Parents, thank you for the support that you gave, the very valuable support in helping these graduates be successful. And graduates, you need to give your parents a special thanks. Hugs, tears, laughter, all of that. Yeah, because they got you here. So it takes a lot of work. I would like to introduce our first speaker, our salutatorian, Riley Gwynn. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to our graduation. I want to thank all the parents, friends, and loved ones for coming and to our graduation, to the 2021 commencement. And now we'll follow that with a few words from our director, Charlotte Jones. Hello. Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm going to take my mask off so that everybody can understand what I'm saying. All right, if everybody's comfortable with that, okay. Boy, looking back on this year, thinking about last year's graduation after COVID, the school was closed and we didn't prepare very well. It was new for everybody and we were all in shock as we were staying in our homes and worrying about toilet paper and masks and sanitizer and making sure everything was sanitized. You all remember that last spring? And then last September, when your senior year began, that was a challenge. That was tough. We were doing comprehensive distance learning, CDL. You're on your laptops, your Chromebooks. Everything was through Zoom. But you maintained your work ethic, and it's been an amazing year. And you showed up. Greg Coughlin told me that the theme for this year's yearbook will be Stranger Things, which is absolutely fitting. We want to pay honor to and many thanks to all the teachers, all the specialists, the counselors, the aides, the dorm staff, the maintenance, nursing, health, administration, everybody who got you here today, all those adjustments and everybody's flexibility in being able to survive and succeed during COVID. And graduation today is for all of us as well. Because all of us helped the U6 get here, and it's great that we have such a small, intimate group. And many people played a role in getting you here today. And that's why we're so happy. We're happy for you, but we're really happy for us as well. We're in the cafeteria. Think about how many meals you ate here over the years. 3. Well, 3 every day, right? But just think about who bought the food, who delivered the food, who prepared the food, and who got the food to you every day. When you weren't feeling well, who gave you medicine and gave you care? Who checked on you every night in the dorms, every half hour, checking to make sure you are okay, safe and healthy? Who mows the lawns on the grounds? Who did all the work, all the maintenance, making everything look great? Who made sure you had warm water for the showers at just the right temperature? And who helped the teachers when support the students while the teachers continued teaching? Who made sure your laptops worked? And if there was something wrong with them, who got you the replacement and made sure they were up and running? Who called your parents and stayed in touch and let them know every little thing that happened? There were a lot of people. So, this larger community did their best to make sure that you could learn, and they're all celebrating with you, and they're very excited. Also, I want to thank, from deep in my heart, the families, the parents who trusted us to give your children a place to learn where they had open communication, where being deaf is normal, where they could grow and thrive. Thank you, parents, for letting your sweet children come to Oregon School for the Deaf. Even though there were probably people who were concerned about how far away it was, or might have judged you for allowing your child to come to OSD. I hope that you know that this was the best place, the right place for your children to learn and to become amazing, proud, deaf citizens. We're honored that you gave us that trust. And we loved being your partner over these many years. So, you know me and my family love watching movies, watching TV, watching different things, right? That's not a secret. This year, we watched the entire season of The Mandalorian. Has anybody seen The Mandalorian? Anybody? So I won't give you any spoilers just in case you haven't seen it. I'm waiting for the picture. There it is. Oh, look. You know who that is? Yes? Okay, good. So Baby Yoda, and his actual name is Grogu. Okay. So watching the whole series is pretty amazing, and you can get a lot of life lessons from watching this show. And I've got 5 that I want to share with you today that we can learn from Baby Yoda and The Mandalorian. First, stay curious for your entire life. Stay curious. Now, the main character, the guy in the mask and the suit that you never see, Mando. I call him Mando. That's what we call him. His assignment, his task was to get Baby Yoda to safety. And Mando stayed curious through all the different adventures and challenges and trials and everything that he had to go through. He was able to get Baby Yoda, well, first to several different places, but eventually to safety, and he stayed curious. He didn't know why Baby Yoda was so special. And Baby Yoda surprised him with his ability to use the Force, right? And that threw Mando when he did the things with the Force. So, stay curious. That's going to help you find your true purpose in life and your true potential. So keep learning and stay curious. That's number 1. And then number 2 is take your time. Don't be in a rush. So The Mandalorian's an interesting show because it's an old Western. It follows that style. And there are long scenes where it doesn't seem like much is happening. There's no talking. They're just going through the landscape. And it takes its time. It's very deliberate. And you can enjoy that part of the journey. So take your time. And sometimes just stop and make sure you understand the environment first before rushing on to the next thing. Take a moment. Zen out. Peace. So take your time. Number 3. Don't worry too much about how you look, okay? Really. Really. Mando wore a helmet through the whole series. You never saw his face. You don't know if he's shaved, does he wear lipstick, who knows? Nobody knows. So I'm not telling you to wear a mask or have a helmet, but what I am saying is that what's inside is more important, right? It's more important than what people look like on the outside. Number 4. People mean more than getting stuff done. Does that make sense? So over the course of the series and the story, Mando develops different relationships with different people. So he cares about Baby Yoda. Obviously, there's developing a relationship there. And then on his journey, there are a lot of complications, but he still knows that the priority is Baby Yoda and the safety of people rather than making a buck. That his focus is on people rather than things. So your friendships, your families are very valuable. Don't trade those relationships for money. Be loyal, because that counts. So number 5, the 5th thing that we can learn from The Mandalorian is don't try to do everything on your own. You can ask for help. Mando gets help from a lot of different people. He looks at who's around him and figures out who he can help and then who he can get help from. It's all right if you don't have the answers right away. That's okay. Your life is like a journey, like the journey that Mando goes on. You're going to meet a lot of people who are going to guide you and teach you and influence you. We here at OSD have been very fortunate to be here with you and to watch you on your journey and to be part of that. It's been amazing, and we're going to miss you. Thank you, Charlotte, for that wonderful speech. And now we're going to recognize acknowledgments and awards for the students. Last Wednesday was awards night, our celebration. We had the high school and the different awards that we do and the different scholarships that are available. And we had nominations for the different awards from the high school class, and so now we want to honor and recognize those of you who got awards and recognitions. Okay. Sophie Jo Peters, good work. Lewis and Carolyn Myers, Kindness and Courtesy Award. Next. Emily Blevins. Mark Buchan Memorial Award. Next. Isabella Zachary, the William Smith Scholarship Award. Congratulations. And now I'm proud and honored to turn it over to our valedictorian for our commencement speech, Isabella Zachary. Good evening, parents, friends, teachers, mentors, and of course, graduate class of 2021. My favorite quote is that those who fail, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up, by Thomas Edison. We need to not give up, but we need to understand that whatever challenges we have, we need to keep working and keep looking for another path through all the challenges. Through all the study, asking friends, and when we fall, not giving up, but getting back up and moving on. And we did that all over this last year, and look, here we are, graduates. We didn't give up. After all the challenges and difficulties with COVID especially, being stuck at home, having to do online classes, and here we are graduating, and this is a special day, and we should all be proud. I want to thank my parents for taking me in when I was 11 and raising me. Thanks to my sisters who've been with me since birth. Thanks to the parents and family who pushed me to be the best that I can and helped me get through all the different barriers in life. And who taught me how I could have trust in myself. I'm very glad that I'm graduating at Oregon School for the Deaf, like my dad. Unfortunately, he didn't get his diploma 20 years ago that was lost, but I wanted to thank him for everything that he's done for me by presenting him with his high school diploma. Thanks. Now, oh, just a second. Technical difficulties, please stand by. Beep. Okay, I think we're ready. Yes? Sorry about that, everybody. Let's proceed. So it's now time to present the diplomas. We'll call each graduate up individually. So if I could have RJ, Ann Harrington, and Charlotte Jones, if you could come up to present the diplomas. Okay, the first graduate of 2021, Emily Blevins. Next is Madison DeCamp. Alexander Garcia. Riley Gwynn. Sophia Jo Peters. Isabella Zachary. And now to wrap things up, I'd like to invite our Director of Instruction, Robert Rich, up to say a few words.
I'm free. Wow. I graduated in 1976, 45 years ago. It's quite a while ago. I had bell bottoms, platform shoes, flower power. It was the 70s, 45 years ago. Amazing. And now, 2021, the year of your journey in life. And I have a few things I want to share with you. I met a woman, short with black curly hair, with white streaks. She was a good therapist. We sat and chatted. She showed me something, and I'm going to show you something. You see that? Life is good. And it has two parts to that concept I want to share. Life is very precious. You can go to the beach and walk and see the sunset and enjoy that. You can go and sit and chat and have moments in life. It's so, so sweet. The second part, there are problems that come up. Problems we face, challenges, and sometimes it's hard to accept. But once we can accept, we can see the positive from it. Problems help us grow and understand more and improve ourselves as people. Problems actually help us. It helps us develop the courage to do the right thing. And those are the two parts we both need. I'd like to share a few things that happened in my life, experiences, so you can see the concept, life is good. Long time ago, I was a young guy, about 26 or 27 in Santa Barbara. It's an hour north from LA. It's on the coast. Blind, deaf, and in a wheelchair. I was working with these people, and I was invited to a party, pizza party. We went to a restaurant. We had these gatherings now and then. I got to know this group of people. I met one man during these times, and he liked to chat and discuss things, and he loved the socializing. He talked about investments. That was his favorite topic. And then the socializing dwindled, down a few hours later. You know how a deaf party goes. A few of us left. A man sat and chatted with me, and I noticed that he talked about being disgruntled about his house problems. And I'd see him at these parties now and then, and every time we'd get to this party, we'd socialize, have fun, enjoy. And a few hours later, we'd always end up together, and he'd have this same issue he wanted to talk about again and again and again. I had a chance to chat with him. We got to know each other, and it was a safe place to share. This man was a landlord. He owned a house. My house. I rent out rooms. And the paper says you got to pay the rent. If you don't have any money, you have to move out. That's a contract, and I get money from this, and if they can't give me money, they leave. Then one day, a young woman, she needed to rent a room. She signed the contract. She moved in. This woman and the landlord developed feelings, and they became sweethearts. It was unexpected to have a relationship. That woman lost her job, and she couldn't pay her rent. Wait a minute, what's he gonna do? Do I tell this person to move out? She's my sweetheart. So she moved into my bedroom, and that guy still needed to rent a room. He was paying off another house. He needed the money. What was he gonna do? A third person came as a roommate. The problem was he liked to be with his sweetheart, but it was a small house. And the renter would say, oh, God, where's my privacy? And his sweetheart felt the same way. But what can I do? I need the money. And that was the issue, the problem. That was a constant. Every month when we got together, the same problem. As the party dwindled again and we chatted, I was curious, and I said, you're always you have this disease, this problem, this angst, your conflict. I don't like this problem, he said. And I said, why? He says, why is this happening to me? His attitude was his attitude made the life hard. Was about the attitude. Maybe he needed an attitude adjustment. to accept his problem as an opportunity, and that he could actually learn a lesson. He listened to me. A few weeks later, in a backyard party, again we got together and I saw that guy. And he said, you know what? I sold both houses. I sold that house I was trying to pay off. I sold them both, got them a big chunk of money, and bought a new home with my sweetheart. And we started a new life together, and life is good. Another example, a few years later, I moved on in my life from California, Northridge College, CSUN in South California. I had a roommate, a friend. He invited me to go to some gatherings, some board games. We would play, and compete and chat. And we mingled. It was lovely to get together. And I met a guy, very tall guy, so funny. He loved to tease, loved to laugh, loved to play. It was a lot of fun. Nice to see that. And we mingled our social life, a few hours later, we sat together. And he was telling me about his brother, problems with his family. Next party, we got together, the game boards came out, and the jokes and the playing and the fun, it was really great. Party dwindled down to a few left of us. And we sat together, and he again told me his story of woe. That was ongoing. It was like a chronic issue. And the same thing kept happening. And it wasn't gossip, it was a nice group. But the people would talk about him saying, yeah, he's got family issues, We played games together, and after it was done, I felt safe, like we knew each other well enough that I could ask him some more pointed questions. He had 5 brothers, and these 2 were so close. They would wrestle and play and bike, and they grew up so close together as friends. One got married, the other got married. They'd go over to each other's houses, so close. That brother got involved with drugs. He had a drug problem, and he went off the deep end. The other brother was so upset, and he kept talking about it. He couldn't get over it. The next party, I was playing a game. We sat together, and we had a conversation, and I could see he had that discomfort again. He just felt like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to my brother? See, it was about his attitude. And I tried to help him to resolve that attitude, make a shift, make peace with your emotion when you look at the issue. It's an opportunity to learn. You can see positivity through that. He told me about the problem. He felt that discomfort. He was happy to tell me, but he wanted to know what to do. A few weeks later, he went to a drug therapy center and learned about the plans they had. And he called the family. They flew in, the brother to his home. It was a surprise. They all sat around. The brother came in, and the family were all there. And he told him, your drugs have really impacted me. And they each took turns telling him what his behavior had done to them as family. But we're with you. We're with you in this. And they took him to a rehab center, and they kept going to counseling together. 6 years later, I saw the 2 of them backpacking and camping, a picture of them in the mountains. I got my brother back. Life is good. You know that discomfort we feel? It does make life hard. Are you willing to face the problem? Can you get a positive perspective? Then life is good. A few years later, I moved to Gallaudet University in Washington, D.C. I was working at the college. I had a good friend who invited me for a potluck. You know how you go and you chat in a buffet style? And there was a woman, very popular. People wanted to chat with her, laughed and talked. She was very successful and highly regarded. She was a bigwig in an insurance company in a management position. She was high up, and she had people under her. A deaf woman in such a prestigious position in this company. And she felt good about this, right? I'm successful, I have power. A few hours later, as the party dwindled down, she was telling me about the problem. I'm so unhappy with this company I'm at. I thought it'd be exciting, but she told me the truth. And she said, I have problems there. And through months of the social, I could see her trying to be positive, trying to have an image of success. But at the end of every party, she would be honest and the feelings would come out and she would say, I'm so frustrated there. And so one time I was there, she was there. I got to know her enough to have a safe conversation. She described the situation to me. She said, when I came into this job, this insurance company, I had to start at the bottom. I had to move my way up. I got degrees. I got a master's degree and an admin license. And my boss said, hey, do you want a promotion? And I got excited, sure, an opportunity for promotion. But the boss didn't tell me about, to another worker, they told the same thing and didn't tell the other worker that he had said the same thing to her. Oh, they're working overtime. Oh, then I have to work overtime. They're working weekends. I had to work all the weekends. I had to work, only break was Christmas Day, New Year's Day. I worked almost every day, night and day, overtime, weekend. It was a competition. The deaf woman finally got an offer for promotion, and she felt like, oh, maybe I can relax. And maybe I'll have less work every day and not every night and not on the weekend. But the boss said, no, you're successful. You need to keep doing all of that commitment. And she thought, what? I've worked so hard to keep this position, this image. She was not happy. Anyway, she kept saying this as I saw her the few weeks that we would get together. And then one time, she was sitting with her plate of food, and I was sitting close by, and I knew it was coming. I knew she was going to tell me she was suffering. I knew she'd tell me that. And so I asked her a question. Hey, I'm curious. Next party, are you going to keep telling me the same story? And she said, I don't want to. No, should I quit? What am I going to do? I said, well, why don't you explore your feelings, those negative emotions, and see if you can come to some level of acceptance of the issue. And what will your positive response be? And she thought about it. How can that help me? And I analyzed more confidence, more hopeful. She thought, okay. 1 month later, we got back to something. The table was around, and she was there, and I was here. And she said, you know what, you guys? I got a new job. Better pay, better promotion, no nights, overtime, or weekends. More vacation. How? I said, and she said, I faced the issue with a positive attitude. I looked and analyzed my heart, and it told me, don't be afraid of the future. Move on. have courage. And she said, okay. And she looked and found a different company, wrote a beautiful resume, sat and interviewed very confidently. I want to belong to this company and succeed with all of you as a team. And they were impressed and thought, wow, what a good interview. Yes. They could see, and they trusted her in that. She told me about that. That positive approach to the issue resolved her worry. And life is good. So, life is good. It doesn't really mean like, I have to be so positive and try to be happy, happy, happy. No, it's more about being willing to say, bring it on. Bring the challenge. Problems are okay. I'm going to accept them and think, how can this problem become an opportunity for learning, an opportunity for growth, to become more successful? And I hope the same will happen to you, okay? Awesome.
On that note, with the 5 points from Charla and the 2 from RJ, you guys are ready to face any challenge, and I'm confident that you guys will do well. I have faith that whatever comes your way, whatever problems, whatever challenges you tackle, your family will be there, and OSD will be here for you too. The door is always open for you. Come say hi, let us know how you're going. Keep in touch, let us know how we can help you over the years, okay? I'm proud to present the class of 2021. All right, and we've got a photo booth set up so you can get your picture taken with your graduate.